is a MSE 544, Advanced Software Process. What is this? The proponents of a process believes the success of software production actually depends on the good process we use. Okay, so that's why these people emphasize on the process. Process is about a set of steps you go through, and also work products you need to produce in each step you go through, and the input-output over each activities. Okay, so to produce a certain work product, you have to go through certain steps, and in each step you need to have an input, certain set of input to produce a certain output. Okay, so other people expect to get from you. So in this class, we will use this textbook, hopefully book. It's a little bit old, but I still adopt this book because this is a kind of a revival in this area, okay, in the process area. So he set up all this modern the process, the idea of this process. So we learn this basic idea of the concept of process areas and process improvement ideas. Okay? And then through your homework assignment, you will practice this with the current modern software process, okay? Such as agile processes. For example, Scrum and XP you will use to produce a certain application. Okay? Application will be small, but it should be real application. Okay, and also you need to go through the process, the real process. You need to practice process. So if you don't have any chance to use any process before, this is a good chance to learn what is the process to go through. So why you need the process? If you don't have the process, what happens? If you don't have actually all the work has a process you do, but you don't recognize it. So if you go to the San Diego Zoo, or if you plan to go tomorrow, and you have a certain set of plans and certain set of steps to go through, okay, actually, but you don't define it as a process because it is very natural. You are doing this very naturally. But whenever you build a certain product which is new, and which involves many hundreds of people together to do this, and then you need to set up a process in advance, and you need to go through. Otherwise, it's hard to know where you are at in the middle, whether you are doing properly your work properly. You don't know that. Okay, so that's why we need this process. And the process has different levels. Some processes are very heavyweight. Okay, you need to define very heavily, and you need to follow this process very heavily, step by step. You should not miss anything from there. And also you can have a very lightweight process. Okay, so like boxing game, you have a lightweight boxing and a heavyweight. Okay, so it's very similar. Okay, so in the lightweight process, it's very nimble. You can go very quickly. Okay, without having a very heavy standard there. But still, you need to do something. Okay, to go through, and you need to have some work products to produce. Okay, so you will learn all these various spectrum of this process concept in this class. So you will learn what is process, you will learn how to define a process, your own process, and you will learn some standard model processes. Okay, some processes are de facto or standard, okay, in the market. Some standards are standardized by international organization. Okay, so you will have a chance to be exposed to these different types of processes. And also, you will have a chance to learn current modern processes, which are very popularly used in the market right now, like Agile methods, Scrum, and XP as well. So you will have a chance to learn all this, and you will have a chance also to practice really with your team members. Okay, you will learn how to collaboratively define this process, how to collaboratively follow this process to produce product, really. And also, you will learn how to assess your current process. Is it good? You will have the chance to think of it. Oh, am I doing my work right? You have questions, right? And your boss may ask you, are you doing right? Okay, so how do you know? How do you know you are doing right here? Your way is a good way to go. Okay, so you will learn about these standard models, and also you will have a chance to assess your current process against standard models. Okay, and then you will have a chance to find where are the improvement points, what kind of thing you can do to improve your work, which means to improve quality of your product. Okay, to improve your quality product. Your customers may complain you, we have this kind of problem, that kind of problem, and then you may have questions as manager later, what is the problem in our team? You are working hard. You are working until the midnight every day. Why customers complain? You like to know it, right? And then it's a good idea to have a chance to assess your process, the way of working, okay? Some students say, I work hard, I study every day, okay, every hour, but I cannot get a good grade in the exam. Can you see that? This happens in your work as well. Your people, your engineers working hard, but there are a lot of defects in your work. What is the problem? Okay, so good ways to review the process, assess process with the standard model, and find out the gaps. And then you can have a chance to fill in this gap to have a proper process to produce quality product. Okay, so that kind of thing will be discussed in this class, and you will really practice this. And once you finish this class, you will become an expert in this area. So my curriculum is organized, the contents I experienced in the industry consulting. Okay, so they really perform this kind of things. Really, they define the process. They really try to follow process. They really assess their process. They really try to improve their process. I was involved in this kind of steps, activities, in their assessment, their continuous improvement activities, and then I put all this together to this class and make it doable within a semester. So once you experience this, you will become an expert in this area. I really promise you, you will become an expert in this area. Okay? You will become a process expert afterward. And I promise you, you can be immediately involved in the process improvement activity in your company. You can lead your process improvement in your organization immediately. You will become that kind of a level. Okay? Okay, and then, so we will use this textbook, Humphrey's book, and also you will use many references related to the current models, current process models. So you will learn all the fashioned models and the traditional models, and you will practice current modern process models as well. Okay? Okay. If you are not from the computer science background, and then this is required to read, okay? So you have to read these textbooks. These are typical textbooks we typically use in introductory software engineering courses. So if you've already done this, that's good, that's great. But if you are from other majors, and you had some experience in software industry, but you have a limited knowledge in this area, please read these introductory books and try to understand all basic terminologies. So when we do the lecture, we assume you already understand this. basic terminologies. So if you don't understand the basic terminologies, it's hard to understand. So for example, you go to the medical conference this afternoon and you're sitting there, how many percentage you can understand easily? They are talking in English, but you may not understand what they're talking about. Why it happens? Because you don't understand their terminologies. They are using their own terminologies there. Okay? So if you talk bus in the computer science, what does it mean by bus here? Bus to ride? No. Bus for address, bus for data. Okay? So we talk about the bus by this address bus, okay? Data bus. It is not the bus we really ride on. Okay? So something like this. If you don't understand the terminologies, basic terminologies in software engineering, you cannot easily understand the lectures. So please prepare for the basic knowledge by yourself. Okay? If you think you are not prepared yet. Okay? And these are the outlines of my course, like this. So we go through these many parts. It is based on the process improvement model. So you will later you will understand this. Okay, so we will go through almost all chapters here. Okay, and then we will have you will have a chance to learn about other current and modern software process models, agile models. And this course included these activities. 3 exams are required you need to take, and the exam dates are given already in the syllabus, posted already on Titanium. Okay, so you can check it and make your busy schedule and the family schedule based on that exam dates. Okay, so keeping exam date is the most important thing. Okay, not to miss. And you will have a 2 homework assignment. In the first homework assignment, you will have a chance to learn what is a process and how to define a process and how to follow the process you defined. Okay, how to follow this. So you will get this experience from homework 1. In the homework 2, you will have a chance to evaluate, to appraise, to assess your current process against standard model. Okay? And then you will find the gaps between your current process and the standard model. And then you will build an action plan to fit in this gap. Okay? To make your process comply with the standard models. Sometimes it is required by your customers, your software providers. They will require you. You need to get certain level of a process, okay? Defined in the CMMI, defined in the ISO model, 12207, you want 5504. They will require you. So if you are building software for the car companies and your acquirers may ask you, okay, you need to follow certain standard model, okay, your process model should be compliant with that model, and then you need to show evidence your current process is equivalent with that level. Okay, so that kind of thing will be experienced through this homework 2. So once you finish this, and then you will become an expert in this area. So you can immediately involved in this process improvement activity. You can immediately involved in process assessment team in your company. Okay. Okay, that's all I have, and I like to show the example Titanium pages of my course. So when you enter this Titanium, you can see this link, and some students do not carefully look at this, and then they are clicking something else. So be careful with these ears. Okay, so this is for from summer 2018 and the spring 2019. Okay, so next year, next semester it will be different. Okay, be careful. And then go to this class in this way. I'm sorry, this is not my keyboard, so I'm not familiar with this keyboard. Oh, what happened? Yeah, how it works. So you can see very similar things like this. Again, this is a faculty interface, user interface. So student user interface may be a little bit different, but still you can see all the courses you registered here. Okay, and then all sections, section 50, section 51, for the other administration purpose, you are in different sections, but you will play in at the same playground 50, section 50 here. So you click this one, and if you go enter the wrong playground, it will say, oh, you need to go to another playground. It will say that, so don't worry much. And then you may see this, again, this is a faculty interface, so there are something I prepare for that, but they are not announced, the released yet, but your view will be very similar to this. So I already posted many information here. So for example, you can click this to get the syllabus. Okay, so it tells you who I am and where is my office and how can you contact me and what is the course purpose and what are textbooks and what kind of references you must read. If it says direct references, it is directly related to the coursework. If it says indirect, it is just for your information. Okay, and then so you can see there are many references like this, right? And sometimes I update the syllabus. In that case, I post it again with the update date, okay, version, the different version. So you have to check this carefully and then get the always current version. And it explains coursework and the grading issues. And whenever you need a disability support service, you can link here, click link here to get the information for that. And for the campus emergency, you need to access this website. You are at home, so probably not much related to this one, but still you better read it in the beginning at least once. And there are some guidelines for the online instruction student. It is related to the library to get some online resources. And the next page is important, and it talks about academic honesty issues. So you need to keep in mind this. And the most important part is this course outline. Okay, so it tells you all the schedules. Okay, so in each week, what kind of thing we will do here, and what are the due dates, when are the due date for the exams and the homework. So already I assigned dates for the exam and the dates for the homework due dates. Okay, so please schedule your calendar, okay, based on this. And others are related to the distance learning requirements, which is very similar to what you read and assigned already. Okay. And I posted this the orientation materials. So if you forget, you can review it again, and also review the post video for this orientation. So if you like to review it, you can review it. And the students. Those students who could not attend today can review this online material as well. And I posted this introduction to the 544 again here, so you can get it anytime you want. And I made a link for search for teams. So it's good to build a team today, but if you cannot make your mind today, still you can use at home, you can use this link to find your teams. So some students already posted, okay, to look for their teams. Okay? So you can use it. And also you have a team charter template and the team evaluation template. So it is required to build a team charter in the beginning of class. So you need to promise to your members who you are, what you do for the team, and what is your contact information. Okay? So set up everything. Importantly, at the last section, you need to say about evaluation criteria. How will you evaluate your team members, each other? So you are required to evaluate each other at the end of homework, each homework. So, but you cannot evaluate randomly, okay? You have to set up evaluation criteria today with your team members. And then you will use as a contract, okay? So you should not use anything else to evaluate your members at the end. Okay? So be careful to build this evaluation reasonably, okay, at this time, and use this evaluation criteria objectively. Okay? Don't use subjective matters to evaluate your members. Okay? Use these objective measures to evaluate your members. Okay? And the next form is the evaluation form itself. So review this today and with your members, and build a team evaluation criteria, okay, reasonably, and follow that evaluation criteria. And be a good citizen to your group, okay? So work hard with your team members and do your best to satisfy your members. The best goal of a software engineer is, one of the best goals of a software engineer is to satisfy customers, okay? Whatever you do, you need to satisfy customers, okay? Even though you produce very fancy product, if your customer don't like it, it's useless, okay? You cannot keep this project next year anymore, okay? So satisfying customer is very important. I also like to emphasize on satisfying your members first, okay? So do your best, whatever you can do for the team, and collaboratively work until the end. And the next link is about the short summary of homework. I introduced what is homework 1 and what is homework 2 already. But more detailed homework outline will be posted. Okay? So read all of them very carefully. And I posted lecture note for chapter 1 like this. So if you click it, you can see notes for chapter 1. Okay? So like this. And the next link is a video lecture for chapter 1. So if you click it, you can see my video lecture. It is captured from the live lecture on campus. So you can feel you are in the on-campus lecture. Okay? Okay, like this. Okay, so the continue on, I will post this lecture materials for homework 2, the week 2 and the week 3 continuously. So you will see all of them. And usually within a few weeks, I post everything for 17 weeks, so you can see everything at that time. Actually, I have almost all right now, but I don't post it. If you may feel, oh, it's too much being at work. Okay, that's not the main purpose. I need to maintain, I need to update the contents. Okay. Any questions for 544, so the process class? Yes.
I just wanted to ask the class if anybody needs an FAQ member.
Okay, very good. Yeah, this is a way to find your team. Okay.
Or I could just find you online.
Okay, good.
For the 5 group or for the 3?
Oh, that's a good question too.
544 and 541.
We need one for the 3 teams.
Okay.
All right.
Good. So each instructor, each class has different requirements, different number of teams and the different types of homework and the different levels of the course, the workload of homework. So probably you can imagine, oh, this class workload is very high, right? So, but actually it is doable by one person as well. So when I perform the consulting for the process assessment and the improvement work, actually this is done by me, actually. Of course, I have some team members in that company as well, but mostly I have to do everything. So I know the work amount, workload, okay, you need to spend to do this. So I schedule based on that kind of things. So don't worry, it is doable by even one person, okay?
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So the first one is for the books or references that you mentioned, in case you don't have the background, how much do we need to read them before getting into the textbook class?
Textbook, do you mean textbook or references?
No, the textbooks that you
Okay.
mentioned for, in case you don't have the computer science background.
Right, so it is not the textbook, but it is required references to read.
Right.
Okay, so if you are not from the computer science background. Okay, so as early as possible, you better master this.
Okay.
Okay, so you can study this at the same time you are working for this the coursework, but as early as possible, you better finish it so that you can easily understand the rest of the lectures.
The second question is, with this class, with the introduction of the Agile and all these references, that helps to get certified with Agile?
Again, I'm sorry, what do you mean by that?
You mentioned that we're going to be, also talking about using Agile. So,
You will use it as a method to do homework assignment.
right.
Yes.
So would this class help us to get a certification through Agile?
Oh, okay. Yes, of course. I have some certification in the design method as well, and I went through many their trainings as well, and many contents on my course material related to the design method are what I learned also. Okay, so you can easily get the certificate for this agile method. Yeah. Once you finish this class successfully. Probably within a week, you can get it.
Do not provide certificate.
We don't, we don't provide certificate, but whenever you take some other training, you can easily understand what they're talking about, so you can easily pass their exams.
Yeah, so I learned about Agile methodologies some years ago through lynda.com.
Okay. I cannot talk about some kind of other institutions or other certificates here, but you may choose many other things if you think it is useful to get a job for you. Yeah. But again, once you finish this class successfully, you can easily pass all their exams because we will cover all the necessary contents related to that in this class, and you can easily involved in the process improvement team immediately after this class. Yeah. So the contents you will learn, we will cover most of things you should take before you become a process improvement team. The formal assessment requires their team members to take courses. Once you finish this class, you can easily understand it within a day. Any other questions?
So for the charter and the evaluation,
Yes.
we're going to submit that in some box, right? So
Right. I expect you to submit next week.
Okay.
Once you build your team, you need to do it. I can give you more time. That's okay. If you do not form a group yet, but I like you do it as early as possible because I like you start the homework assignment as early as possible. Yeah. And also you can update later, don't worry. If a new team comes, you can update it. New member comes in and you can update it, don't worry. Okay, and then we finish introduction to computer science 544. And then last one is question and answers in general for the program. For to STEM member here, come here is here to answer to your questions related to all the campus activities. And finally, what you need to do is a survey you have. So you have a survey in your packet, and please fill in and submit it before you leave. Oh, you have questions?
The exams are online as well?
Yes, exams are online. And
So some courses is time. So then there is again in my course 541, you're going to use the exam feature that we provide by the academium. So, but you still get time to do certain over the weekend, but once you start it, you have to finish it.
So what happens if for some reason your network goes down and gets interrupted?
We understand that. So if that's the case, then you have to contact the instructor. In my case, it will be always weekends. There's no weekend for me then, I guess. So wait, if there's some problem, then we'll take care of then what the problem is based on the problem, we'll take care of it. Okay. So yeah, we had an experience on that one, so don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
but I will not give you a second chance to take an exam. Okay, so if you access the exam, you have to finish it. Okay, within the given time. So.
So for the different sections for each class, like 50 or 51, does it matter like if the groups are in different sections? And like sort of
Yeah, what will happen is basically, although there are two sections, administratively there's one section. So they're going to merge together. So everybody will be on the same section, same page. So it doesn't really matter if it was a 50, 51. One big group of 51, 50, they will merge.
Okay.
And also one more thing is that, so since although you are online students, you have all the rights of regular Calcutta students. You can get the ID card, library cards, everything. So the library is out there, is in case you haven't go there, so you can get a student ID, right? And then you can get all the discount you need to as a regular student. So there are a lot of people you can get. Also, there is a gym. You can go, you can get discounted students. There are all kinds of goodies if you are getting student ID. So why not, right? So get all those quickly so you can get these regular customers.
And the software as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
There are some
software.
software.
You can get free software actually. Like there is a Google software request. Has a button. There's a bunch of software requests for free. So like Office, I'm not sure we don't have that alliance anymore, but you can get like Windows 10 and all kinds of different goodies. You can get it for free. Sometimes you have to stay CD $5 or $10, but otherwise, where you regularly pay like hundreds of dollars to get it for free. Yeah, so go online and take all the advantage you can get, right? So.
But related to the exam, the different instructors may have different policies. So you should be familiar with their own policies. But most of the policies will be given in advance in the beginning of class. So in the written form, so you can easily recognize it.
So, I mean, some programs they require to come to campus to the exam at proctoring or outside don't have that policy because we think that, again, some course is more like, open book, open notes kind of exam. So what's purpose is open book, open notes exam coming here, right? And another thing is that I believe that you guys are here to learn things, not, trying to, get school grades. So we, believe in you and that you will do the work and which you can use later on also. I mean, you guys going to do a good job later on, and if you have knowledge, you can do a good job, and not just getting good grades. So that's why we have kind of policy. So far, we have been successful and not having good power-training. Otherwise, you come here and not going to midterm and exams. And it's a very cumbersome for you too, right? So let's keep it that way, and we trust you, and hopefully you do all the work, and so you can, get the knowledge and get a good job later on. That's our policy.
It's a kind of honor system.
Honor system.
What kind of distance do you have,
Library right there.
Yeah, I saw it, okay.
So we have a really good library too. So we'll make, they're trying to expand our library called Library of the Future, Loft. So there are a lot of tech stuff and everything, so it's really good. Go and make sure actually this afternoon you have time. Our campus is really beautiful, right? So just make sure and go to the computer science building also, see how our building looks like, and take full advantage of it. Any other questions for us?
Okay, so any other questions, send us email.
Yeah.
Okay, anytime, anywhere, so we can reply as soon as possible. Okay, and please fill in the survey and hand in survey before you leave. Okay, thank you for coming, and thanks for being with us today, and see you next year, exactly 1 year after. Next time, we will meet in the afternoon.
In the afternoon, or at the midpoint meeting.
Okay.